So, Simon, how old is your son now?
He's just over 3 months now.
Okay. So it should be pretty fresh in your memory. Do you remember what it was like the day he was born?
Yeah, sure. I was in the operating room,
No
or
kidding. In the
yes,
delivery room.
in the delivery room, not the operating room. Sorry. Well, I mean, they do operate, but kind of. But the delivery room. So, well,
Well, let's go
well,
from the
well, we'll
very
go.
beginning. Like you're at home. Like what
Sure.
happened?
So it was as usual. It happens when you never expect it, and it came a couple days earlier than we thought. And it happened. She had labor pains about 4 o'clock in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and then we took her to the hospital. I took a couple pictures of her just for the buddies. Hey, look at my better half in pain.
Right, wait. So you got to the hospital by car, by taxi, by
Yeah,
were
I
you
think
driving fast
I
or
think we went by car. We went by car, and then I went, and then I said, and then I went back home to get breakfast. And then because labor usually takes a long time, so I thought we'd have time. But I went home for breakfast and went back to the hospital, and she was already on the table, on the delivery room table. She was quite fast. Took about 3 hours, I guess, which is on the quick side of delivery. But when I saw her, she was a totally different person. She was like not a real human being because the pain was so hard, like
Oh
almost
no.
delirious or subconscious.
Oh,
But I think all women are like that because I saw a couple other women and they looked like they were zombies.
wow.
Um, and that's why I said, like, they say like women have a higher threshold for pain. It's true. I think men would die,
Right.
right? So, but having said that, it was quite a mind-boggling experience. Like all of a sudden there's this little purple lump in front of you, and it goes from purple to skin color before your eyes.
Wow.
Yeah, and and it's awake. It's a human being.
So the baby cries instantly when it comes out?
I don't think it really cries that much. It doesn't have that image that many of us have, that the doctor slaps the and then cries like a baby. But yeah, maybe whimpers a little bit every now and then, but for the most part, quiet.
Wow. Well, I'm sure it was an amazing day. That's cool. Thanks, Simone.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, Simone, I was wondering, you have a newborn son, and before you know it, he'll probably be 10 years old, 12 years old, and I wonder if his life will be a lot different than it was for us when we were 10 or 12. Like, for example, education. Like, do you remember what school was like when you were 12?
Yeah, sure I do. I think his his education will be the same as mine. I don't think like I had a classroom with maybe 15 or 20 students in it. He'll probably have a classroom with 15 or 20 students in it. Of course, there'll be a lot more technology in his classroom. I mean, I remember my first computer had green and black screen. He'll probably have three-dimensional shapes with his computer screen.
Right. That'll be amazing. What about sports? Do you think the sports will be the same? That he'll play pickup games with his friends and go to the park and play soccer or whatever?
Sure. The only difference is, for example, I played soccer when I was young. I played on grass. He'll probably play on artificial turf on the top of a building somewhere.
Right. Yeah, actually, that kind of worries me about the kids today that they don't play sports as freely as they did, when I was 12. Because when I was 12, we would always play pickup basketball games or pickup baseball games. I don't know if kids do that so much anymore.
No, I think they probably do.
Think so?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, what about entertainment?
Oh, I think some things never change. So when he's 12 years old, he will do exactly what I don't want him to do, which is exactly what I did. So those things might be different. Like I would probably hang out with my friends and go skateboarding. He'll probably have a jet board instead.
A jet board.
Well,
Right.
who knows? I don't know, but something new.
Right. Right. Okay, that's cool. Anything else you think might be different for your son, especially when your son is 30 in his 30s like you?
Yeah, but I guess technology. I think technology and overpopulation. So he'll probably see a lot less or natural sights, or won't be able to experience nature as I did. I mean, even now, I don't see as much nature as I did 20 years ago.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a sad thing. Okay. Anyway, thanks a lot, Simon.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, Keiko,
Hmm.
you said you lived in America.
Yeah.
How long did you live in America for?
I lived there for 5 years.
5. Wow, that's a long time. What was it like when you came back to Japan?
It was quite difficult because I look Japanese and obviously I am Japanese, but I act a little bit different from other people, and the way
Right.
I wanted to mingle with my friends are a bit different from how the Japanese people mingle with their friends. For example, there's no hugs between friends.
Oh, yeah.
Those little things in daily life kind of shocked me a little bit. Or even in universities, I've heard about this before, but in universities, people go to bathroom together. They always think about in the groups, okay, what should we do next? Should we eat lunch? Should we go to the bathroom? Should we, do this after school? It's kind of always in a group.
That's in Japan or in the
In
US? In
Japan,
Japan.
yeah, is what I felt.
Wow. So it was hard because everybody was always together all the time. Like you couldn't be an individual, or
Um, it was hard because I think in the States you are expected to kind of have your own opinions, whereas in Japan it's important to have a harmony with other people.
right.
And so you don't usually say, okay, this is what I want to do. Do you guys want to come with me or not? It doesn't work like that. You say, okay, what do you want to do? You ask it other people first, and then people ask each other, okay, what do you want? Do you want? Maybe sort of they come up with one thing that we want to do, which takes about maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes just to do one thing. And I'm not criticizing, but it was just kind of a different culture coming back. And then now I kind of got used to that culture now. And then I think it's kind of one of the good thing about Japanese cultures and Japanese people because they really do respect the other people's,
Mm.
opinions, even within friends. They don't take each other for granted. Um, So I'm getting used to it, but when I just came back, it was just little things.
Right. Did you find that you had to change? Like, how did you have to change when you came back? Were you
Mm,
still yourself, or did you have to adjust, and how so?
I try not to say so much about, okay, this is what I want to do, or I try not to stand out so much
Right.
in the way. But after a while, I just thought, okay, you when you try to be somebody, you can't because that's who you are.
Right.
And there are a lot of friends in university. They ask me, "Do you think you're Japanese or do you think you're American?" Because they felt that I'm quite different.
Sure.
And I used to say, "Well, I'm Japanese, but I grew up in the States." And I used to explain that, but then at the end, I thought, okay, well, I can't be Japanese or I can't be American. I'm just myself. So that is a kind of attitude that I took, I think,
Mm.
from yeah, in the later years in the university, and I just try not to really change or try to adapt.
Hey, Keiko, you
Hmm.
lived in the States for 5 years, right?
Yep.
When you were there, what did you miss about Japan? Like what foods or TV shows or stuff like that?
I did miss the food a lot. Very healthy food, not oily, just a simple grilled fish, miso soup, simple rice, natto. I miss that a lot.
Now, did you cook Japanese food in the States?
I lived with my parents and my mom tried to cook as much, but obviously, it's hard to get those Japanese food ingredients in the States. It was pretty difficult at that time, and it was also quite expensive when you could get it.
Right.
So we didn't have so often. So like we had it every day. So I missed it.
Now, what did you think of the Japanese restaurants in America? Were they up to par, or you can be honest?
Yeah, it was kind of strange at that time because they came in a very un-Japanese looking dish, and
Right, right,
and then the taste was just it's very quite similar to authentic, but it's not quite authentic.
right.
It was very close, but still it wasn't the authentic Japanese.
Now, was there anything else you missed? Like, were there television shows or music, radio stations, things like that?
Um, Actually, I didn't think about these things when I moved because I was kind of forced to be adapted to American culture. So I didn't have almost like I didn't have time to really think back, I missed this, I missed that. But I wanted to catch up with my friends in American school, so I try to, watch TV shows in the States and I try to, talk to my American friends about that. So no, not in terms of TVs or radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, actually, what grades were you in school? Like, what level?
I moved to States when I was 13, so end of my junior high school, first grade in Japan. So I moved into the almost the beginning of seventh grade in the States.
And then you graduated high school.
And then I graduated high school.
Whoa,
Yeah, it's almost 6 years. Yeah.
man, that must have been something.
Yeah.
Now, the American high schools are known to be a lot easier than Japanese high schools. Did you
Mm.
feel like it was a lot easier?
Actually, it's a good question because I get that asked all the time, but I don't think it's true because I think what's hard in Japan is I think the school in Japan is not so hard, but you have to study for the entrance exam for
Ah,
university. That's more
right.
difficult. But in the States, I found it difficult. I mean, actually, the school was quite difficult because we have every day we have a homework from all the subjects. We have every chapter test every week from all the subjects, and every homework and every little test you do in the States, it counts um, when you want to get into university. So every day you have to work hard. I think whereas in Japan, you don't even have to go to school. I mean, you can just go to the certain amount of days to schools and you can still graduate, but then you just have to do really well on the entrance exam for university. So I think that's a big difference.
Okay. Thanks, Keiko. So Keiko, now you're back in Japan. You live and work in Japan. Do you miss things about the US?
Many things. First of all, I miss my friends a lot. I miss the food, especially Mexican food,
Me too. Me too.
because I think you and I both lived in California. It's the
Right.
best place for Mexican food.
Right. I'm a huge taco addict. I love tacos, and I'm bummed that I can't get tacos in Japan.
Me too.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing in Mexican food?
I love burritos. It's a good combination of beans and a rice.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I love. And then I used to go to this small burritos restaurant in the States, and it was run by Mexican people, and then they didn't speak any English. We had to order in Spanish, and but the food was just as authentic as it
Oh,
can get.
yeah. It's just fantastic back home.
Yeah.
Mm. Now, you mentioned Spanish. Did you study Spanish when you were in high school?
Actually, I didn't because I was taking ESL class, English as a second language, so that counted as my foreign language credit.
Wow,
But
you were taking ESL
yeah,
classes.
I
That's
was.
not fair. You were getting easy A's.
No, because I think for 3 years I was sitting in the classroom not understanding understanding a word.
Wow, I don't think so. But you're perfectly fluent now, so it's hard to believe you sitting in ESL classes.
Well, thank you, but it was pretty difficult the first 3 years. And then finally one day after 3 years, I just understood the word without trying to translate in my mind.
Hmm.
It was kind of fascinating, but
When you were in the States, what do you think helped you learn English the most? Was it talking with people or listening to radio or?
I think everything just to be in that situation, just for environment of just English. And my father tried to put me to the school where there's no Japanese, so I don't hang out with the Japanese people. So I was forced to you know, to be in a community of just American people. So I think that was very, I learned it in a hard way, but I think it was the best thing that my father ever tried to do.
Mm. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, thanks a lot, Keiko.
Sure.